Houston in the house.
I'm meant to be here. I told myself that this time I'm gonna do something for me.
Que lo que? You gotta be able to say, hey, what's up?
Tú sabes. Try to do a little something, you know what I mean? Do a little something. A leap of faith that I'm so happy that I took. It has changed my life. Man, it's not as hard as it seems.
No.
With a dream and a vision, I mean, it can happen.
Young, single, and fresh to Punta Cana. Today we have something different. We talk to OGs, but today we're talking to someone who has only been here for 1 month. We have Justified, an artist from Houston, Texas. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. Sure, I'm excited to be here. Been watching y'all on YouTube, seeing you just like your energy, and I've been like, look, I'm gonna make this move, and I'm gonna make it happen, and I'm coming to Punta Cana. And here I am.
So you're brand new, like I want to say fresh off the boat, but yeah. I know you didn't take a boat here.
Fresh off the boat, fresh off the plane and the boat, baby, right here.
Yes. So how's it been so far?
It's been amazing. The experience has been great, of course. Everything happened so fast. As I look at all the things I was able to accomplish to get here, I'm so grateful. I always wake up every morning just like, man, I'm just so grateful to be here. Like just the experience of everything.
Wow.
Yeah.
So let's get some background. Had you been to Punta Cana before? Give us a little bit of background on how you ended up coming here.
So the background is I came with a group of friends, all guys. We had like just wanted to kind of get away, come to the island, see the ladies, go to a couple clubs, just hang out and vibe. And a couple of my friends own real estate here as well. A couple of my friends are realtors. And so, property owners. And so we were looking at properties as well. And so in the midst of it, I was just like, man, I've been to Puerto Plata before. And I was there during college. I went there like a couple of times, but I never came to Punta Cana. And I was like, man, this place is really vibing. I like it a lot. And I always had in the back of my mind that, I would like to settle down in DR. I just didn't know which part. So I told my friends, I'm like, look, while we hanging out and partying, we drinking and just kicking it and vibing, I'm like, look, man, I'm coming back. I'm gonna move here. They like, bro, okay, I hear you. You're not finna really move here. Well, a year after, during that whole year, I just started planning, paying off debt, getting things in line, setting up my finances, getting a lot of things in order. And after that, a year later, here I am. Thank God I'm here.
Okay. So you visited, you made the decision, you felt the vibe. We talk a lot about the vibe.
The vibe was so cool. And it's crazy because it was my first time coming, but just the experience, the people, of course, the beaches, the prices of the cost of living here. And then I like how it still has a balance of American culture where it's modern. I mean, some of the places I've been into and the place that I have now is more modern than I would say probably 50% of some of the houses in US. And that's just it's very modern. And that also was something that stood out to me as well. And I was just like, man, you know what? I could see myself really living here. So
okay.
Yeah.
Nice. So talk a little bit about where you live, because we're coming into contact with a lot of folks who maybe are not looking to buy right now, but are looking to just rent a place.
Yes.
Talk a little bit about that experience and how that went.
Originally coming from Houston, Texas, and moving here into Bávaro, the place I live there, it's very nice. I'm talking about, beautiful pool, very modernized gym, AC in the gym, and I work out a lot. I used to work out at LA
you
Fitness.
Look like you
Thank you.
I
try to do a little something. You know what I mean? Do a little something. And so I worked out at LA Fitness in Houston. So I was always in the gym. I'm a gym rat. So gym was very important to me. And so when I seen the gym, I'm like, wow, this gym is cool. And it's not a lot of people. It's cool, a nice vibe. My place, I have a 1-bedroom. And I would say like a condo, really close to everything. I got so serious about it. I was taking Uber when I first got here. Everybody know Uber can kind of get pricey. If you're a person who's not at home a lot like me, I like to be on the move. I like to be on the go. So I ended up saying, you know what? I called my mom. I'm like, man, I've been thinking about, I know I said I wanted to keep myself on a certain budget, but there's one thing I do want to go ahead and buy while I'm here. And she's like, what is it? I said, I think I want to give me a car. She's like, nah, you don't need to spend no money on no car. I'm like, well, they do got motos here. They be on these little scooters. She like, really? She said, really? I was like, let me see you a picture of some. So I sent her a picture of some. She said, well, whatever you want to do, think about it. So I thought about it. I went to the Honda dealership over there by Jumbo. I would say to compare Jumbo, it's kind of like our Walmart in a way. You know what I'm saying? It's just a lot smaller, but it has everything you need from clothes to shoes,
food,
to
appliances,
electric,
everything.
everything. Even like protein shakes and stuff. Went over there to that Honda dealership, met a cool salesman there. He was really like helpful, and I was just going to look. Well, I ended up just pulling out the card and buying it right then, and it got my brand new scooter here, Honda, and hooked me up with a helmet, and I've been rolling.
Okay, so you get around, you don't have a problem. I mean, I'm sure you have to be a little bit careful on the streets because
definitely at night. I try not to drive too much like late at night on the weekends, but like during the day for any travel that I need to do or something like that. But yeah, definitely be careful on the streets. But I think once you get a hang of it, and I'm a praying man too, I just say a prayer before I go and I just ride out.
And just roll out.
And roll out.
Yeah, just make it happen. So that's good. So you're able to get around. You have transportation. You have a nice place to stay. You have a gym. You can get your protein shakes. Look, I mean, what else do you need? Right?
You got the grocery store right there. Okay. And then like I make friends really easy here, just because the people here are just so amazing and so nice from all walks of life. I've traveled a lot in my time. I lived in Spain. That's why I learned a little bit of Spanish from.
I can hear your accent because you say Bávaro.
Oh wow!
You say Punta Cana, so that's good. I was thinking about that. I was like, he got a little Spanish. He speaks a little Spanish.
I lived in Spain for want to say for 5 months, and I learned Spanish there. Okay. And that time, I learned what I learned. I still try to use it a lot in Texas, but when you're in Texas, we speak in English a lot of time. Even all my friends from Mexico, they still speak English. So I'm like, man, you got to talk to me more in Spanish so I can learn it. But here, I'm just diving into the cultures to where now I'm just literally changing my phones, my apps, what I'm watching on TV to make sure I can really learn Spanish.
So you're watching Spanish shows or watching it in Spanish?
Cartoons.
Okay, that works. They keep the language simple.
They keep the language simple. That way I can learn it. And then, that way, if I'm taking a lady on a date, I don't want a guy to be able to talk my lady away. You know what I mean? I got to know what's going on.
Right. Que lo que. You got to be able to say, hey, what's up?
Tú sabes.
Right. I like that. I like that. So have you met women, girls, or socialites?
I've been meeting a lot of really great lady friends here because I'm a music artist too. It's just really great to get good content, connect with women here to get them exposure because some of them are content creators as well.
Okay.
And so we create content. I shot my first video here, the bar Soles.
Yes, Taro.
He knows you too.
Of course.
He's super cool, man.
Of course.
He was super cool. Definitely check out Soles. It's right on the beach and Cortocito, no?
Yes, in Cortocito, Los Corrales to be exact. And actually, we had him on the show. We were on location there because Soles was the beach that I went to that made me fall in love with this area.
Wow.
Way back in the day, like in 2006 when I first got here, Soles was where I went. It was my go-to place. So you met Taro. He is good people.
Super good people.
Yeah, he supports the artists.
He does. He knew how to help. I have a team that I say I'm starting. Some guys who really just are passionate about camera and video work. So I have my own equipment. So I've been showing them how to work the camera. And next we're going to work my drone. So my goal is to shoot music videos in some of the most beautiful places on this island. And of course,
there are many options,
different vibes, and adding my music as like the soundtrack to seeing the world, this side of the world. So,
wow. Yeah. That is incredible. Well, if you want beautiful landscapes, you're in the right place. There are so many of them here, from waterfalls in the mountains and beaches all over the country and everything. So Punta Cana being your base, I think that's great. That's what I chose as my base. And I travel around too.
And where are you from?
Well, I'm an Army brat.
Yes.
So I'm originally from all over. I've moved all over when I was growing up. But here, I've been the longest that I've ever been anywhere, 18 years.
18 years, yeah. Wow.
Before that, I had never lived anywhere for more than 3.5, 4 years max. Moving around.
Wow.
But when I got here, that was it.
I'm so honored. Listen, y'all, everybody that's watching, I'm so honored to be on the podcast with Cheryl. I've been watching her when I was back in Houston and working. I sell life insurance and stuff. When I was back in Houston and working, I would always see you, and you inspired me so much. Shout out to Jamie Grubber.
Yes.
He also inspired me as well. when I would see you on there, I'm just like, man, it's not as hard as it seems.
No.
And it's not for everybody. You might just come to
Right.
visit. But for me, it was exactly what I needed, and it has changed my life. It's something that I needed, that inspiration that I needed. As an artist, I felt like I needed a different location.
Yes.
It's like a plant being in the right environment to grow.
Mm-hmm.
At the moment, I was feeling like a palm tree, like I need to be in the right environment to grow.
Where you can grow. Well, I think that that's really great, and I'm so happy that you felt inspired, because I actually felt inspired when I came here too, and I felt the vibe, and I wanted to blossom and grow in a way. So it's really
Yes.
nice to hear your story.
It is.
I really love your comment about growing in a different environment and looking for new opportunities, because I know that there are a lot of people who are doing the day-to-day and may not realize or even think that there could be another possibility to get up and change the environment and have maybe a better life or better opportunities.
Yeah, it's so serious that I remember I was in like that place where I was like, felt kind of down. I would say it was close to a place of just feeling really down. I won't say I was depressed, but I was very down, and I felt like I was locked in and I couldn't
Yes.
move out. And I know when we feel like that, we feel like there's no way out. There's no escape. We're trapped. But I had to start really realizing after watching your podcast as well, I got to be honest, like, you may not have known how much inspiration it was doing for me, but while I was there working, I would be tuning in, going to YouTube, watching the podcast, hearing other people's stories, hearing how they took that leap and just gave it a shot. And one thing my mom always told me, I sold my place and I came and she said, well, look, if things don't work out, you always got a place here at my house.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? It gave me freedom to know that I can take a leap and see what happens, and see what it's about. And once I got here, it definitely, my perspective changed. But when I was there and I was watching that podcast, and it gave me inspiration, like, okay, it's not as impossible as it seems.
No.
It's not as difficult as it seems. If you were in a place like I was, where I was ready for change, I had to, at that point, sometimes learn to be selfish. Because as a person who was a teacher, who served, who gave my whole life to people, I told myself that this time I'm gonna do something for me.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So
That's powerful.
yeah.
That is very, very powerful. And sometimes you can more easily give when you are already fulfilled.
Yes.
Yourself.
Exactly. Now that I'm there and I feel myself getting that fulfillment, I'm able to pour out.
Yes.
And so here I am again. I've tripped out how many people are inspired, are sending me DMs about how inspired they are by this. And even though it was just a move that I was making for myself, here I am still giving back
Exactly.
again. And it's just very fulfilling. It's very exciting. I'm very compassionate about it, as you can see, because it's the biggest decision or one of the biggest moves I've ever made in my life.
Wow.
And a leap of faith that I'm so happy that I took.
Wow. That
Yeah,
is incredible.
yeah.
So I know that sometimes new beginnings can be tough, and you are new, and many of my OG guests talked about the hard times that they had to actually overcome to be successful. I'm just curious, have you had any real struggles? It's only been a month. So,
Yeah,
it's interesting to hear just the beginning. And I expect that we'll probably have you back, because over time we'll want to hear how things are going. Like, you're still so brand new here, but.
Exactly. I would say, of course I had a lot of struggles back home. Hopefully, this is my road to just the going uphill. But of course, in life, we will always have struggles. I had struggles back home. With cost of living being higher, with more competition in the workplace and sales, and I'm in the sales industry. We're selling life insurance and things of that nature. But I was just telling myself that, you can either deal with the troubles and the causes of life back at home, or you can deal with them on the beach. I'd rather deal with it on the beach.
That is so true. It's
Just
like,
go keep it real
drop
funky
the
with
mic.
you. Just keep it real funky. Like, I'd rather deal with all my troubles on the beach. And it's been great. And of course, I mean, I'm still travel back and forth from home because I have other things I do there too. But it just gives me a great, I guess you can say, like, foundation here that I can just jump and leap from and see the world from right here.
I feel that way too. I think that sometimes life is hard any day of the week. We're always going to have something that creates stress. I mean, we really look for it because if things are too quiet, we're just kind of like, wait a minute.
What's next?
Let me go stir something up. Let me go, stir up something. And it's very normal to have different stress in life. So that's always going to be there. But I thought the same thing. I might as well be on the beach or with the sunshine or with nice people and have a better environment and then do the thing.
Yep. Because being here, like, as an artist, it helps me feel like now I can be creative.
Yes.
Now I can grow. Now I'm in a different environment. Of course, shout out to Houston. That's where I'm from.
Houston in the house.
I had to represent because it's Houston's own in the building. However, now I get to bring all my friends and family from Houston right here. They may be in the same place like I was. Where they wanted to do it and they weren't able to at the time. And I'm able to be that beacon, a light to show them like, hey, man, it's a possibility, even if it's not to move. And it's not for everybody. Maybe it's to come and visit and to really say, what, I've never been there. Let me just come visit and come out here for a little bit and check it out and catch the vibe. And that is something that has been really fulfilling. So when it comes to music, I've been a lot more inspired, a lot more ready to create and write even more, and ready to kill these visuals I'm about to do. So yeah, it's a lot of fun.
I feel your energy, like the smile on your face and the light in your eyes. It's just like, bring it on. Ready for the world.
I'm so grateful. Like, when I wake up in the morning, I thank God every day for just being here because it is truly an honor. And I thought it was so impossible. And now that I'm here, it's like, you know what? Like, I'm really doing this now. And now it's been a month. So, it's like your first week, 2 weeks, you're like, something's going to go bad. Like, that was in my mind. I'm thinking like, something's going to go bad. Well, I'm going to have to go back. And now it's like, nah, everything since I've been here it's been a yes. I'm like, hey, I know usually you got to pay the rent on the third night. Can I start paying on the fifth? Yes. Oh man, I'm looking for a place to rent. I need to find out. And shout out to Jamie Grubber. This guy, man, is running the social media. He was on your show, and I followed him on the Instagram, and he was like saying for people that needed to find realtors here or places to rent or whatever. And so I reached out to him on the DM, and he connected me to Teresa, and she's been a major blessing. While I was in Houston, I'm texting, she's showing me pictures of places. I'm like, yeah, that one, nah. Yeah, that one. Got my place fully furnished, good amount on the rent, everything, and got me in my place now. Shout out to you guys for that.
Excellent. That's great. That's how it works. It's like everybody is connected to somebody else, and
you're on all the billboards. So I'm like, look, just got here in a month, and she's on all the billboards. I'm like, dude, come on.
Yeah.
I'm meant to be here.
Yes. I think we're all meant to be here one way or another. We have to find our way here if we are like-minded. I mean, like you said, it's not for everybody.
Yeah.
The pace is a little bit different. The dynamic is a little bit different. But you've lived abroad before, and you've been to Puerto Plata.
Yeah.
So
I lived abroad before. I've traveled a lot. Went to college in Atlanta. Shout out to Clark Atlanta University.
Yeah.
So lived in New York for a while. So seen the city life. Lived in Spain. Lived in different Houston, and of course I've always traveled internationally a lot. So, but as far as home, this is my first time living in a while internationally in the Caribbean. So yeah.
So far, so good.
So far, so good.
So you've come here a couple of times as a vacationer.
One time.
One time. So you've come here one time as a vacationer.
Yeah.
What would you say is the big difference from being here as a tourist versus actually moving here and living here?
And actually, you're correct. I've been to Dominican Republic a couple of times, but Puerto Plata.
Right.
And I haven't been there in a long time. And that's where I was like, when I was younger, I was like, man, I'm going to retire there. I'm going to retire there.
Right.
Well, I came to Punta Cana one time.
Okay.
And that's when I made the decision. But the big difference, I would say, would be, man, like, it's island time. So a lot of things that I'm a timely person, I like things like this. Out here, we're on the island, so it's gonna be more chill. So, for example, like I need to get something done with my AC unit, or I need to get my internet installed. Well, I'm thinking, okay, it can be installed. They say tomorrow, they're gonna be here tomorrow at that time. Well, it may be later that week. It may be later that night, or the week after. It's very different for me, but I would take it just because of the fact, like, again, I enjoy being here. But that's probably one of the things that would used to be like, whoa, like, wait a minute, I'm ready. I'm like, boom, boom, boom. And it's like, it's island time.
It is.
It's
and that
time.
is one
That's
of the biggest adjustments for everybody.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because you actually got here today on time. and my producer sent me something like, the guest is here. I'm like, I'm not even scheduled to be there yet. How does that happen? It's because you're only 1 month in, right? You're still on American time.
I'm still on American time. I'm still on American time. So look, I be Tony here. I'm sitting on the steps waiting like, okay, it's 10 o'clock. They're not here. Am I in the right place? What's going on?
Oh my goodness.
So then I see everybody kind of like slowly creeping up, so it's like, okay, I got to remember I'm on American time still.
Yeah.
So since I'm so fresh, but again, like, it's
good to be on time. Like, I'm not saying, I'm not saying to not, because in general, things are really changing around here too. Mm-hmm. But the culture is just such a relaxed culture. I mean, everybody's relaxed. And if they tell you they're going to come on a day at a certain time, that's probably not going to happen. Just make sure that you have a flexible schedule and a flexible calendar for those things. And once you get your internet installed, it's installed.
It's installed.
Right? Once it's done, it's done.
Listen, shout out to Claudio. That's how I was able to get my internet. And again, I've been speaking Spanish and using my app as best as I could as well. But that was the biggest thing for me, was getting my internet set up, because I want to make sure I have my technology working so I can still make my calls and stuff back home and things like that. And I was really surprised how well the internet is here.
It's good internet.
Really good internet.
And really, how long did it take?
And it took them, it was supposed to have been a 2-day thing. It took them 7 or 8 days.
Okay. All right, just for perspective, let's lay it out there. Really,
7 to 8 days. Then they
but we've come a long way, because when I got it, it took over a month.
What?
Yes, but this was a long time. It was over a month.
Over a month.
Yeah, they told me we need 30 days.
Yeah.
And I would call them after like 2 or 3 weeks. They were like, it hasn't been 30 days yet. So they were like, don't even call us until 30 days.
Luckily,
a week.
I got lucky then.
It's improvement. No, I don't think they take that long these days.
Yeah.
But you got it, and it's done, and it's good.
And it's good. And in the meantime, I use like a little portable Wi-Fi device. Mm-hmm. That way I can have some type of internet while I'm there to kind of still be able to use. I was using that portable device. And so that was probably the main thing, was having internet, having Wi-Fi, getting that situated. Once that was in, then I was like, okay, I'm good now.
You're good.
I can, and then of course, mailing things.
Yes.
Sending mail was a hassle at first, because I didn't know how to send things, how to mail things. So I found out about a courier.
Okay.
So I got a courier with BM Cargo. And basically a courier is just like where they send your items. If you're ever thinking about mailing stuff, they send your items from wherever you are, to Miami. And then from Miami, in like 2 or 3 days, they send them here to Punta Cana. Right. So I didn't know about that when I first got here. So I spent a lot of money using DHL and all these different things, because you want to get stuff off Amazon. But if you go through the courier, send it right there. They got an app. It's going to show you when your package is in, and then it get here in like
Couple days.
a couple days, and you're
Yeah.
good to go.
That's good. That's
Yeah.
good. And also be aware if you're ordering something that's very, very expensive, because then it could have a customs implication. If it's
Implications.
more than $200, those kind of things, be
Really?
aware of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good to know.
That's good to know. Yes.
Thank you for that.
And do you have a bank account?
So I've been trying to get a bank account set up. I know that they were saying I need 2 recommendations from people from in Punta Cana. So that's what I'm working on. That's the next thing I need.
Okay,
2
well,
recommendations.
that's a done deal.
Oh.
We're gonna hook all that up right away.
Thank you.
That's why
Come
I'm
on.
asking you. I'm like,
Thank
wait a
you.
minute
That's
here.
been the only thing I got all the records they need from my
That's it.
bank and stuff. I just need 2 recommendations and then I'm good. Yeah.
We got you.
Thank you so much.
We got you. We
Look
check
at
that
See?
afterwards. We're gonna be
You
checking
see?
back in with you. We're
see?
gonna say, yeah, we need to sit down and talk. We'll have a
Yes,
conversation
yes.
about how things are going in the transition, just on the side for some detailed things. But it's
sure.
good that you're here as someone who is really brand new and talking about some of these things that people will
Yeah.
need to know
And
about.
by
who are-
myself, I really came out here by myself. Like I said, I have a friend. He does real estate. He has a property here, but he lives in Santo Domingo. So he only comes here like, a few times out the month. So, he was telling me a few things, but even him, he was like, dude, you've been really like learning. I'm like just trial and error, going, asking people. I talk to everybody, I ask questions. If I don't know how to say it, I'm pulling up the app like, hey, this, until I really figure it out. And that's how I've been able to pretty much manage and get to where I'm at right now. For real.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. And already making your music.
Yes.
So what are your ideas and plans for that?
Man,
I want to hear
I'm
more
so-
about
I'm
that.
so excited. So for the music, I just dropped a project. It's called Evolution 2. And the title just because I believe we are all evolving.
Nice.
So the project 1 had a picture of me as a baby. I was kind of like a little baby picture. But now with project 2, it's just showing me now as I'm evolving into where I'm at today. And so when I released the project, I released it once I was settled here. I dropped it in August. And so the project is like more R&B, rap R&B vibes. Definitely
Okay.
cater to, the ladies. So fellas riding with their ladies, they want to have them play. It's going to be that kind of vibe. But it got some rap tracks too for the fellas. And the goal with this project is to just really show my lifestyle of where I'm living here now.
Nice.
And then show people the world through my music. So of course I'm gonna have beautiful women in there, cool people that I meet. But I also want to show just like Limon, Romana, Samana, just different beaches, different areas on the island that they can be like, yo, that's a dope background. Yo, that's a dope bar he's at, and that's the goal, is to like bring them into my world through my music and as well as just showing them the island.
Well, you definitely have a great backdrop here in the Dominican Republic and Punta Cana. So I know that we will see that come through, and we'll have your information in the
for sure.
description. And then also, like I said, follow back up with you. Now, that's not the only thing that you're doing. Like
Yeah.
you're able to sustain yourself as well. You have some
other
income.
income. Yeah, I have multiple streams of income. I mean, definitely streaming from music. I have other streams coming from Houston as well. And then also I'm a salesman, so I do financial consulting. So I'm helping people with setting up bank accounts that provide, compounded interest.
Okay.
And we attach it to something called a life insurance account. But what we do is we teach people how to save. And by saving something as simple as, I don't know, $200 a month, how if you let that $200 a month save, how we can show people for a free application process how to get compounded interest on $215 a month to 5 to 6% interest. Because sometimes
Wow.
if it's like me, I got multiple bank accounts back home, and none of them are really giving me any interest on my money. Even if
Right.
I'm just putting something in there just to save, none of them is compounding any interest. But with this compounded savings account, if they're approved for this free account, they're able to just put money in there every month, and they can grow interest. And in time, they can become their own bank and teach themselves how to basically use that money instead of using a credit card, but take that money and become their own bank. Instead of paying back 18% to a credit card, pay yourself back 2% to your index account,
Wow.
attached with a life insurance account. So I also teach a lot about financial consulting and about saving. So my clients are people who are looking to save. You don't have to have a whole bunch, but as long as you got let's say $150, $200 to save every month. And if you can do that over time, how we can show you how that can compounded interest can change your life in the long run.
Yeah, that could be even a way that people can get here if they want to.
Exact. Come on.
I mean, come on now.
You own it. Yes.
Yeah, pathway to Punta Cana.
That's
get started, start saving, preparing, and then be ready to make that move.
And it definitely is available for Americans. It's free. If you're a pretty good, healthy person, you get approved for the account, jump on it, take advantage of it. If you don't want it, you can stop it whenever you want, whatever. But that is a great idea because honestly, that is what opened up the door for me to get here.
There you go.
As I really think about it.
Copy paste?
It's a copy paste. So there it is.
Yeah. So as a part of the podcast, we always take a question from one of our subscribers. So let's see what we have here. Pick one of these and I'll ask you the question.
All right.
Okay. Here we go.
If you want to get rich in real estate, download my PDF.
How much money do I need to move to Punta Cana and be okay while still finding my way around?
I would say it would depend if a person is just wants to stay for how long the person would like to stay. I would probably say if you're looking to have a lump sum of money to kind of get here, and then how you're going to continue making money while you're here. Mm-hmm. So whether that's, doing remote work or finding some type of business that, maybe in tourism that is going to make some money, then or some type of residual income is going to be very important. But I'll say, you can come here and start off with, anything between $5,000 to $10,000. Mm-hmm. You can start off with $5,000. You can start off you can make it a month, on $5,000 if you know how to budget. So for some 10. For me, I grew up where I knew how to make a lot with a little bit. Mm-hmm. So 5,000 can do long for me because I'm very frugal. So, but my question would be, what's going to be your consistent residual coming in? Mm-hmm. So I would probably say, have a game plan for that. What's going to be your way to consistently make money? And if possible, find a way to make money from US and then kind of use some of that residual here while you start something here that could kind of balance it out. That would be in the perfect world. But with a dream and a vision, it can happen.
Yes. I love that.
It can happen, because the lifestyle I live is a really great lifestyle. But you don't have to come here living that type of lifestyle. You can kind of take it down a couple notches to sustain yourself for a longer time as well. And I'm willing to do that because I really want to be here. Mm-hmm. So it just kind of depends on the personality.
Great advice. So it's possible.
It's possible. If you're a person who I can balance all type of lifestyle because I came from all different types of walk of life. So yeah.
And if you were doing it again, and I know you're only a month in, what would you do differently, or would you do anything differently? I know you're still finding your way and getting things together, but it sounds like it's been so far so good. But
I probably would say what I would do differently is I probably would have definitely got my, and this is a small thing, but got my internet stuff figured out before, got me a router and got all that stuff. Got all that day one, got me a router and all the stuff I needed back home and brought it here. I would have did all that stuff then. And I probably would say I would have probably brought more clothes too. Because I was like, I ain't worrying about no clothes, man. I'm going to just get clothes out there. Well, it's a little different getting clothes here. You know, we do got Zara, but you only got one mall. We got the Blue Mall to find some real nice stuff. And it can get expensive trying to buy clothes from other places and bring them here. So I probably would have brought more clothes. And then that's probably it.
That's it.
Dang.
But that's pretty good. That's not bad. So you're pretty good. You're pretty good. Yeah. So Justified here. Look him up. Listen to his music. Support a young brother making his way here in Punta Cana. Follow him because
Yes.
we're going to follow you. We
Yes.
want to know how you do, how you're doing,
Yes.
and even help you out. So we're going to help with those
Yes.
kind of things.
And I'm looking forward to connecting with the enrichment program because although I'm very passionate about music, financial consulting is something that is what sustains me to be here. So if you are a person who says, look, in 2 years, I'm looking to make a transition to move, we can come together and figure out a game plan for you to save, to help you be able to make it be a pathway. Maybe that's something that I'm just really kind of, the light bulb came on the show that I can do to help other people is provide a financial way to, if you're able to save, to get here, 2 to
Yes.
3 years and be a pathway.
Well, justified. This has been justified.
This has been justified.
Yes, all the way from Houston. Thank you so much for
Yes.
being a part of the Punta Cana Podcast.
Yes.
We're definitely going to keep in touch, and we'll see you on the next episode. Be sure to subscribe. Thank you for being a part of our show.
Thank you so much.